We will start with a one-minute opening statement, and first will be Mr. Cervantes.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you today. I just want to start by saying that I agree with your professor and your principal and everybody else that government participation is important. I taught at community college for 13 years, teaching primarily about the judiciary, so thank you for this opportunity. I've been an assistant district attorney in Houston. I was an assistant district attorney here in El Paso. I've been a city attorney, and I'm asking you for an opportunity here today to speak to you so we can answer some of your questions and try and give you an idea of what the judiciary is all about.
Ms. Reyes?
I'm not stealing the mic, we agreed to share. My name is Dolores Reyes, and I'm running for judge of the 41st. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm glad to see everyone taking time on a Saturday morning to be here. I think my only wish is I wish we had more citizens that were involved and came out. I am running for the 41st. I am a lifelong El Pasoan. I graduated from Bel Air High School, went on to college at Texas A&M, and went on to receive my law degree from the University of Houston Law Center. I have worked for the past 16 years as U.S. Assistant District Attorney. I have worked in numerous courts, and I am consistently in court or in trial. I have been a chief for the 41st District Court, which is the court that I'm running for, as well as the 168th, the 243rd, currently the 327th, and probably the 34th in the future. I have over 100 trial experience, jury trials that I've tried, and I am asking for your support. Thank you very much.
Ms. Reyes. Last but not least, Ms. Perez.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Ana Perez, and I'm your candidate for the 41st Judicial District Court. I currently, as some of you pointed out in the audience, I do currently serve as your county commissioner for the East Side, and this is my first term. I'm not running for re-election, but I am running for this county-wide position of judge. My experience is rather diverse. I've practiced in just about every state and county court and in the federal courts. I've done civil work and criminal work, defense and prosecution, plaintiffs and defense. So that diversity in experience is what is needed in the 41st. In addition to that, I stand on my record of public service. I think with recent headlines over the last 5-6 years, the responsibility is all of ours to ensure that there's an integrity that represents you, whether it's on the bench or in Commissioner's Court. I've demonstrated to you my commitment to this community. I love this community, and I'd love to serve as your judge of the 41st District Court. Thank you.
Asking questions of the candidates will be Mr. Armand Torres.
Mr. Cervantes, how important do you feel having professional and personal roots in El Paso it is to becoming a judge here?
That's a very good question. I think the majority of the candidates that are here are from El Paso. I was raised in the Lower Valley. I went to Scary Grade School. I went to Sleta High School. I went to University of Texas El Paso, and I have a Juris Doctorate from Thurgood Marshall. As a prosecutor, having transferred from Houston, I came to El Paso. And El Paso has a different characteristics as far as crime and things that happen in our neighborhoods. And so being from El Paso gives me the perspective that as a judge, I need to concentrate on certain areas such as juvenile offenders and things of that nature that come before the court in order to assure that people are in fact being given the proper hearing in court so that everyone can feel like they got a fair trial. And so being from El Paso gives me that perspective.
Ms. Reyes, do you believe the criminal justice system should focus more on rehabilitation or punishment or more?
I think you said rehabilitation or lawyers.
Or punishment. Or punishment.
As a prosecutor, of course, my day in and day out is towards the punishment of offenders. But while I have been at the district attorney's, I've been very fortunate enough to be part of 2 rehabilitative treatment courts. First, the DWI drug court, and second of all, what was originally the 243rd adult drug court. The focus on those courts were the rehabilitation and treatment of addiction to controlled substances. And who would be allowed in those courts were nonviolent offenders. And the focus on there was to get them treatment in an attempt to reduce repeat offenders and to reduce the crime rate. So as a prosecutor, I've actually had the opportunity not only to focus on the theory of punishment, but to also focus on the theory of rehabilitation and treatment. So I've been very fortunate. Thank you very much.
Ms. Perez, what are your reasons for leaving the Commissioner's Court and seeking to become a judge of 41st District Court?
Thank you, and I really appreciate that question because I believe that's something that interests people. When I took office in Commissioner's Court, it was at a time where I felt a responsibility as an East Sider to contribute to the improvement of county government. It was absolutely a calling. It was absolutely a sacrifice, both financially and in terms of time with myself and my family. But I felt it was a responsibility. So when we're talking about improvement of your government, that also includes the judiciary. I have a lot to contribute. I am very fortunate that despite the personal sacrifices of time and money, I've gained a sense of responsibility and knowledge of your courthouse, and it's your courthouse. And that experience, with that experience, I'm the only candidate in this race that can make some significant contribution on taking the judiciary, your elected officials, human beings that decided to run for judge, to a new level. And it's for that reason that I'm excited about this.
We will now have a 1-minute closing statement, and we'll start with Mr. Cervantes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the words of my opponent, Ms. Perez, but I want to let you know that in reality, in this particular race, age and experience matters. I've been practicing law for a total of 34 years. I've tried in excess of 500 jury and non-jury trials. I've been practicing in the states, in the state courts, in the federal courts, and in the state of Colorado. So a person who is a trial lawyer necessarily evolves into a master trial judge because of the experience. I ask you for your support because the first day that I take the bench, I'm going to hit the ground running because I have the experience as a litigator. I have the experience as a person who's worked in the community representing people day in, day out. My abilities are well balanced. I promise to give the state every opportunity to prosecute its case. I promise to give every defendant the right to defend themselves. That is more than what you can ask of any judge.
Ms. Reyes?
Thank you. Thank you again for this opportunity. I want to thank everybody who's here. It is hard to do a resume comparison because we do have 3 great resumes. We really do. So when you look at this race, you really have to look at the motives and see why people are running. When you do that, it is then that I truly believe you will see that I am the best candidate for the 41st. As I've said before, I'm dedicated to this community. I am a public servant now and have been for the past 16 years, and consider serving as your judge the highest honor. I would be a keeper of your court. It is your court. It is not the domain of the judges. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank you very much for your time and being here. The diversity of experience, regardless of the length, is what's important here. The 19 years of practice that I have engaged in here in this community, not just in criminal cases, because this is also a civil court, defending county government in employment cases, in complex contract cases, multi-million dollars at stake, as well as the freedoms and responsibilities that are part of the due process in criminal cases diversity that I have and I bring to the board. And in addition to that, the efficiencies and the transparencies that I have been very much a part of in county government is something that the judiciary also needs. And for those reasons, I ask for your support. I ask for your continued support in the 41st, but I want to thank you for your support as county commissioner and for your time here this morning.